They say that battle changes you.
Greetings Game Watchers, I'm Chris Capel and I'm a DC. A sequel to Injustice Gods Among Us, the DC Comics fighting game by Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealm, has now been announced. We're already excited, but there's one catch: it's not currently announced for PC. So why would a PC focused site like GameWatcher bother to do a video about it? Well, that's because we know something. Injustice 2 is definitely coming to PC, and here's why.
Still can't believe we freaking lost Batman. Yeah, let's hope the big boss doesn't find out.
I'm in a nightmare.
Point 1. Injustice Gods Among Us wasn't announced for PC either, and yet it's on PC. The same goes for Mortal Kombat 9. In both cases we've got the complete edition with all the DLC, and they mostly work just fine. The only time NetherRealm have released a game for PC day and date with the consoles was Mortal Kombat X, and that did not go down well. Point 2. There's still a year to go. Injustice 2 has a vague release date of 2017, and literally anything could happen in that time. Most likely Warner Brothers and NetherRealm are trying to work out whether they can possibly release a polished experience for PC the same day as the consoles. They still haven't actually announced a release date at all yet, and PC gets announced late all the time. Quantum Break, for example, wasn't originally made for PC either, and yet that came out at the same time on Xbox One and PC. Point 3. Warner Brothers know that we're more forgiving of delays than bad ports. Grand Theft Auto 5 was released 18 months late, and yet is considered the definitive edition of the game. Injustice on PC was also 7 months late, wasn't better than the consoles, and it still has problems, yet Steam reviews are mostly positive, whereas Mortal Kombat X's are mixed at best. Also compare Batman Arkham Knight's overall to recent Steam reviews, now that has been patched a bit, overwhelmingly positive. Gee, I wonder what would have happened if it had actually released when it was actually finished. Point 4. Everything these days is released on PC. Go on, name me some third-party major games from the last few years that didn't come out on PC. The eagerly anticipated No Man's Sky was announced as a PS4 exclusive, but we're getting that day and date with Sony. Likewise on Xbox, Rise of the Tomb Raider was announced as Xbox One only, but that quickly came to PC. Being exclusive for that short amount of time actually hurt the game's sales. Even Street Fighter V came out on PC, and that's the biggest competitor for NetherRealm. Third-party console exclusives are going away and being replaced with, at worst, timed exclusives. Why? Because games cost too much these days not to make them available on every possible system. So trust us, Injustice 2 is definitely coming to PC. Now that that's established, let's sink into our wish list for the game. Number 1. A better PC port. Let's go for the Warner Brothers jugular, shall we? The publisher has a spotty history when it comes to PC versions of their games. The horrors of Batman Arkham Knight and Mortal Kombat X have not been forgiven or forgotten, especially as Warners weren't very successful in patching them. Warner Brothers, you're getting a reputation for shoddy PC games that you're unwilling to fix. We can stand a delay, just make sure it works properly with no stupid glitches that make the game unplayable. Number 2. Better online support. The online community in Injustice is dead on PC, because no one can bloody play online on PC. Search for an online game and you'll get nothing. There are leaderboards and clearly people playing, but the only way to get a game is to directly invite people to fight through Steam. We're really hoping NetherRealm gets things right from the start this time. Number 3. Epic story, with the DLC characters this time. If you ask any DC fan who's played it what makes Injustice so good, they'll answer the story. It's surprisingly great, dealing with an alternate Earth where the Joker tricks Superman into murdering Lois Lane and nukes Metropolis. An enraged Superman kills the Joker and then goes off the deep end. 5 years later, Superman is the head of a regime that rules the world and Batman runs the resistance. The sequel will pick up after the epic ending that saw regime Superman imprisoned and supposedly deal with a new threat to the Injustice Earth. We're mostly hoping for two things: that it's as entertaining as the first games, and that former DLC characters will actually feature in it. The omission of characters such as Martian Manhunter, General Zod, Zatanna and Batgirl from the story completely was a little annoying when they're such good characters.
Green Arrow, what was that? Thunder of the Gods, Flash. Thunder of the Gods. What does that make us? Four slobs to clean up the mess.
Number 4. The same voice cast. Awesomely, the voice cast was mostly a reunion from the actors from Justice League, the animated series, including Kevin Conroy's Batman, Susan Eisenberg's Wonder Woman and George Newbern's Superman. And awesomely, despite Jon Stewart being Green Lantern in the cartoon, NetherRealm has even remembered that Adam Baldwin played Al Jordan for all 3 lines in a single episode and brought him back to fully reprise the role. Keep the cast, please. Well, with one exception.
Hello, Gotham. Joker's back in town.
Number 5, Mark Hamill. Yes, Mark Hamill chose not to replay his perfect Joker, and his absence was keenly felt. Instead, Richard Epcar reprised the role after previously playing the clown prince of crime in forgotten Injustice Warmer Pact Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe. He wasn't too bad, but he's no Mark Hamill.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman. I set a trap, and you sprang it gloriously.
Number 6, better Wonder Woman model. In general, we really like the designs and models in Injustice, with one major exception: Wonder Woman. She's supposed to be the most beautiful woman in the world and a warrior princess. Instead, we got a man wearing a wig and boob armour. New model, please. Number 7, new characters. Okay, here are the ones we know we're getting. Supergirl. Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El, has been near totally absent from the Injustice world so far, not even appearing in the excellent prequel comic. Given her newfound popularity thanks to her TV show, it was inevitable she'd turn up, but given that her power set is identical to Superman's, hopefully she won't just be a reskin character. Atrocitus. Whereas Green Lanterns use the green light of will, Red Lanterns use the unpredictable red light of rage, and Atrocitus is their fearsome leader. With the Injustice Green Lanterns severely depleted after a war with Superman, Atrocitus and the Red Lanterns could well be a major threat. In terms of fighting style, like Green Lantern and Sinestro, Atrocitus can also make constructs, although vomiting blood seems to be a special move, and evil cat Dexter accompanies him. Excellent. Gorilla Grodd. A giant psychic genius gorilla should be the first on anyone's playable character wishlist. Grodd's psychic powers seem to be coming into play with him basically making another player hit themselves, but otherwise brute force should be his main playstyle. Presumably Gorilla City will be his stage, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, let's list a few new guys we're hoping to see. 5 heroes, 5 villains. First of all, heroes. Constantine. Yes, his TV show may be no more, and most people still probably think of him as Keanu Reeves, but the dubious magic-based John Constantine will be a perfect addition. He's played a big part in the Injustice Year 3 comic, and unlike most, is still canonically alive. Plus, he could be played by Matt Ryan again, and that's always a good thing. Blue Beetle. I'm going to go with the newer Jaime Reyes version rather than classic Ted Kord, since Jaime is a cool alien techno-suit with transforming weapon attacks similar to Cyborg. Plus, he's not just another white dude. Black Canary. I can't think of a reason why Black Canary was left out of the first game. She's a strong hand-to-hand fighter with a sonic scream superpower. Yes, canonically she's dead in the Injustice universe, but so is Green Arrow, and that didn't stop him. Starfire. First, let's overlook the fact that comic book Starfire, aka Princess Coriander of Tamarin, traditionally wears the least amount of clothing of any superhero. It's perhaps unsurprising then that she's also popular. That's more to do with her wonderful characterization, such as in the various Teen Titans cartoons. Other than that, she's a strong fighter with powerful star bolts, and it'd be cool to play as her. The Atom. If you've been watching Legends of Tomorrow, you know how cool the Atom can be. Ray Palmer is basically Iron Man crossed with Ant-Man. A guy in an awesome flying supersuit with the power to shrink and grow at will. The supersuit part could work well with the new armour customization system, and the shrinking growing aspect would make for some awesome battles.
I am entropy. I am death. I am Darkseid.
Villains. Darkseid, the ultimate villain of the DC Universe, the Lord of Apocalypse, has made a cameo appearance in Injustice so far, and there's no way in how the great Darkseid isn't appearing in Injustice 2. He's Superman level strong and has eye beams that can home in on their target, or send them back in time to become a pirate. Cheetah. There are several versions of Wonder Woman's primary antagonist, but the most common is rich collector Barbara Minerva, who gets possessed by the goddess of the hunt and turned into a half-cheetah woman. Fast, athletic, and can fight Wonder Woman to a standstill. Reverse Flash. Who's the biggest adversary of the Flash? Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. This evil time traveller hates the Flash with a passion, mostly because he needs the Flash for his speed. Reverse Flash can fight like Flash, but a lot more vicious. Zoom is acceptable too, but Thawne makes much more sense. Black Manta. Black Manta is the arch-enemy of Aquaman, hating him with a passion for accidentally killing Manta's father. Manta is strong in his powerful suit and can fire optic blasts from his helmet. He actually appeared in the gameplay trailer, but at the moment he's just a background character. Hopefully that will change. Livewire. With the addition of Supergirl, I thought I'd pick a memorable rogue from her TV series. First appearing in Superman the Animated Series, and most recently fighting alongside Silver Banshee against both Supergirl and the Flash in the TV show's best episode, former shock jock Lizzie Willis is a being of pure electricity, and that could create a really cool fighter.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
Number 8. More movie and TV skins. Injustice sported DLC Man of Steel skins for Superman and General Zod, and an Arrow skin for Green Arrow, which even had Stephen Amell as the voice. More of these please, and make them unlockable rather than paid DLC. Maybe that's asking too much. Number 9. Be careful with customization. Customizable and upgradable armour was the big shocking reveal of the Injustice 2 trailer, and many fans have been left conflicted by the idea of upgrades when they beat them up. It's an interesting new idea with the potential to add an unexpected wildcard to any fight, but it cannot be stressed enough how important balance is to fighting games. What happens if one player has unlocked a powerful upgrade and the other hasn't? Will we be able to create upgrade-free vanilla online matches? And most importantly, will these upgrades be locked behind a microtransaction paywall? Just make sure you know what you're doing, NetherRealm. Tread lightly. And finally, literally the last thing we want to see, don't mess up the PC port again. Restating for emphasis, Warner Brothers, we don't want you to abandon PC gaming, we just want you to do it right. If you have to delay the PC release, it's not ideal, but we can handle it. Just make it at least playable, please. Okay? Thanks for watching everyone, I've been Chris Capel, but for now, we'll have more on Injustice 2 when it actually gets announced. While we're waiting, here's a little music.